Hamet Hashem, Asiyata Deshmaya will connect this obviously to the Tkufa, Halag Bomer the day, the Hilula, Rav Shimon ben Achai, one of the all-star Talmidim, one of the 5 remaining disciples of Rabbi Akiva, Sugin Yevama Samach Beis Amar Beis, after he lost his 24,000 Talmidim. So we have a Gemara, it's well known, it's in the 5th parak of Meseches Ksuvas Daf Samach Gimel and Aleph. It's a story of Rabbi Akiva returning home. He has his 12,000 Charusa Shavs, 24,000 Talmidim. Comes back to visit his wife. We know the story, 12 and 12 is not 24. His wife says, if he would only know. So he goes back. And the Talmidim, at the end of the day, when he finally comes back, what happens? She falls on her face and she gives an ashika to Exelis. They started pushing her away. Sashami, he heard Amrlu. Rabbi Akiva turns down Talmidim and he says to Talmidim, Shafkua, I'll leave my dear Eishaschayel alone. Why? Shaliv shalachem shalahu. Who doesn't know this famous line? How many times do you hear it when a husband wants to thank his wife? Somebody wants to thank a woman in his life. In the end of the day, wife, mother, shaliv shalachem shalahi. It's Zok Rashi. Zok Rashi, 1/16 line. Torah shalamadati ani v'shalamadati matem al yodahu. As we pointed out in the past, Rashi doesn't waste words. Shaliv shalachem, that which belongs to me, that which belongs to Zok Rashi. I'm referring to the Torah that I learned, but not just that I learned. Rabbi saying, it's a Pella de Garashi, Torah shalamadati v'shalamadatem. Zok Rashi, no. Torah shalamadati oni v'shalamadatem atem. That's superfluous. You don't have to mention the ani and the atem al yodu. It's all attributed to her. She's the one who made it happen. After all, we have a Gemara twice in Shas. Brachas at the bottom of Yizayim and Aleph. So to Chafalef and Aleph. Ask the Gemara Noshim and Ma'izach, what's the ikar schus of woman when it comes to Olam Haba? So the Gemara goes on to say, they send the children off to learn mikvah, they send the children off to yeshiva, and the husbands off to yeshiva, the children to learn mikvah, the husbands to learn Mishnah, the Gemara, and they wait for the husbands to come home. My wife gets a lot of schar. Oh, the waiting until he gets home. They get a lot of schar, sending off the children, sending off the husbands, they're getting a lot of schar. Says Rabbi Akiva, it's not just that, she made me who I am today, and Memela, she made you. Torah shalamadati oni, the Torah that I learned and transformed my ani, the shalamadati matam, and the Torah that you learned and that redefined you, that transformed your essence. It's all ayodahu. Shaliva shalachem shalah. Here's Rabbi Akiva giving the world from time immemorial the most famous phrase. How does one praise his wife, his mother, the one who made it all happen? Shaliva shalachem shalah. Why? Why is it Dafka Rabbi Akiva to teach us this lesson? It's Makushur to perhaps Rabbi Akiva's most famous memra in Kol HaTorah. Thousands of mamarim attributed to Rabbi Akiva. And who doesn't know? So is it the pshat that he was machanish this in the Sifra, in the Torah Kohanim, in Kedoshim, Yotes Yirches, after he lost his Talmidim of 24,000 Talmidim, Shalom Nogu Kavod Zelazeh? Or are we going to say Fakert? Pastus, he was machanish this first. And Mamela, the same way Yavamas Kuchav Beis Hashem is Medaktik, but Tzadikim Kuchut Tasairo, you, the 24,000 Talmidim, if you wanted to know what Kavod Zelazeh, that's one thing. But you know why I'm punishing you? And you know why Misas Askara, Brochas Chesem and Alf, the 908 Misas, and the most chomerdik of them all is Misas Askara. You know why? Because your Rebbe taught the world how to and you didn't follow suit. That's some Eira and Kitchrig and Miyuchadik and Kitchrig. A tfi on you. How could it be that your Rebbe taught the world how to and you didn't follow suit? So Hashem Yisbarach is Medakte is holding them to a much higher standard. So we know, Pashtus, it's referring to what? It's referring to Bein Adam Chaveiro. After all, you have to love one another as everyone has to love his neighbor as thyself. Just in the Pashtus of the Remez, is loving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it's both. Why? Because the only way you can love HaKadosh Baruch Hu is by loving Klal Yisrael. You can only love Klal Yisrael if you love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They're intertwined. The same Rabbi Akiva, is the same Rabbi Akiva who told us my whole life, okay? Let's see. I know the Gemara this evening in the opening Amud of the second parak of Kedusha. The second parak. And the Gemara says, a Peladik Memra. Amor Rabbi Yehuda Amarav, also l'adam she'kadish se'isha ad she'yirena. A man cannot be mekanish a woman until he sees her. Why? Shema Yerubah Dover Maguna. V'tiskanola. Maybe you're going to see something you don't like, and she'll be detestable, deplorable unto you. And then the Gemara says, V'rachmona Amar, and the Torah says, V'atalecha kamaycha. What do you see clear from this Gemara? What's V'atalecha kamaycha? We're talking about, clearly, it's a reference to what? It's a reference to the Isha. The whole idea of you got to love your wife like you love yourself. Here's a dogma of what V'atalecha asks. Rav Chatzkel, Rabbi Povarsky, the Bat Kodesh, the Rosh Hashiva, Paramit Yeshiva, is quoting the Chevron Rosh Hashiva of Yecheskel Sarna, of Chatzkel Sarna, the Dalios Yecheskel. So Rabbi Povarsky quotes a Chatzkel Sarna with a fantastic aura. If the Gemara is telling me don't get married until what? You got to see the woman. And you got to see her, so you could see her in the living room couch for 2 minutes. You could see her walking alongside of the street. And then, but you got to see her. Also, the kind of she shouts, she read, and she went to the Maguna, and Tiskana love, Tiskana Baila. So why is the Gemara ask of Chatzkel Sarna, the Chevron Rosh Hashiva? Why is the Gemara after not? Oh, and the Torah says V'atarach Gemacha. And if the Torah didn't say V'atarach Gemacha, and if we didn't have the posting, oh, then you can get married without seeing her. I understand. The Gemara just gave me a good svara. Don't get married until you see her. You'll see something that's disgusting to you. There won't be good shalom bayis. Isn't that enough reason? What do I need? And the Torah says, which, oh yeah, it's everybody, but it's also your wife. What do you need to add the line into the Gemara? So to Chatzkel Sarna, powerful word. I'm always say, listen to this aura. He says, very nice, Rabbi Akiva steps up into the Beis Medrash one day, and he tells Klal Yisrael, you got to love your neighbor, you got to love your friend. I said, okay, is there anyone here who can raise his hand and say, he loves every member in Klal Yisrael like you love yourself? Okay, so I might say, your next paycheck, I want you to split it with your next door neighbor, and I want you to give half of it to your next day and half of it to you. The next time you buy a new car, make sure you buy the same car for everybody in your block. You're going on a cruise, you're going on a vacation, no problem, buy this. Is there anyone who's spending the same on everybody else? Is there any in the world that really loves his friends like he loves himself? At the end of the day, you still don't pamper your friends like you baby yourself. So what's the shot? Rabbi Akiva, you're really serious? Come on, how can I do it? You know, I could do it like the Chatzkel Sarna. There's one dogma. What's the one dogma? A person who has a wife, who loves his wife like himself. It's only what? A person can spend more money on his wife than he spends on himself. He has no problem getting her the nicer car, spending more jewelry, spending more money on her dress than on his outfit. I remember I once saw my Zaidi, my Saba Joe Rosset, and he had a beautiful tie. I remember it was a Xenia tie, a beautiful Xenia tie. I said, Saba, what a nice tie. How much did it cost? He said, it cost me $500. I said, $500 for a tie? It's for sugar. He says, it didn't cost me $500. I had to, in order for me to get the nice tie, I had to buy your Safta, your grandmother, a $400 dress in order to get this $100 tie. It cost me $500. No one has a problem. Look at the Rakeach on the Pasuk. It's a reference to what? To your Isha. Why? Because Ishto Kegufo. You know, there's one place that for sure you can be Mekayim out of the Kamaycha. And where's that? By your spouse you can be Mekayim it. Gevaldik. Zok to Chatzkel Sarna. Don't lose that one opportunity that you could always be Mekayim out of the Chakamaycha. That's what the Gemara is adding. Ha'ish Mekani, second Berka Kedushin. Amri Minamarav, also the Kani, Shishat, Shiren, and Shimatinsa, Madama Magunim, and Tiskana love. It's not just about Shalom Bayis, Rachman Amr, and the Torah says, it commands you in this about where are you going to be Mekayim it? And nearly, come on, Rabbi Say. Who? Oh, yeah, nowhere. You can't. By your wife. Your wife, you have no problem spending more money on a dress than on your tie, spending more money on a dress than your suit, spending a lot more money on her jewelry than on your pair of cufflinks, on your watch. It better be more than your watch, right? Otherwise you got a problem if you're spending more on your watch than on her watch. Ishto Kegufo, that's the one place, that's why the Gemara ends. I never lose that. Afini Astarti, that's the Rabbi Akiva, who tells the world, Shaliva Shalachem Shalah. And Akiva teaches the world, you know what the marriage is all about? And at the end of the day, no Shalachem, Shaliva Shalachem, it's all what? Everything I am. It's all through her. He's the one who teaches that to the world. Why? Because he taught us but where's my key? And where am I going to be Mekayim this Kalkon of Torah? The only one place I have a guarantee that I know I could do it is clapping my wife. Who taught the world the Kalkon? You better turn the spotlight on that cloud day in and day out. That's Rabbi Akiva. He's the same one to teach the world. That's Rabbi Akiva. It's the same Rabbi Akiva who says to his Talmidim, my whole life I'm waiting to be Mekayim. I want to give it all over to the Eibishter, who's living his whole life with what? Nobody loves his wife like Rabbi Akiva and Rochel, and nobody loves the Ribono Shalom like Rabbi Akiva, who says every second of my life I'm waiting to be Mekayim. When can I give over my neshama? I gave everything over to Mesiras Nefesh for my wife, everything over Mesiras Nefesh to Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's the same Rabbi Akiva, because in the end of the day, goes to Torah is simultaneously being Adam lechavero and bofen miyuchad being Adam leishto and avada being Adam lemakom. It's all one thing. It's all the same. That's Rabbi Akiva. The Talmidim who remained, amongst them Rabbi Shimon is Hilula. We celebrate tonight. Sphere is Leiv Tov. Rabbi Yochanan Mazakai Perk Beis and Perkei Avos. Leiv Tov b'chlal devar of the Rechem. Have the Leiv Tov. Have a Leiv Tov klapi HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have a Leiv Tov klapi your wife, your mother, your family, your friends. A Leiv Tov. That's the key. The Leiv Tov together. Then you're ready for Mountain Torah. Bebechinas derech eretz kamra l'Torah. Rabbi Akiva taught the world that on all levels. Bein adam l'makom, bein adam l'chavero, shali v'shalachem shaloi. It's the same Rabbi Akiva. V'hatalech kamaycha. That's what it's all about. Let's be masakin and bring Mashiach Tzidkenu. Mehirav Yameinu Ameinu Ameinu.